Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Thursday, April 16th, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, 2020. The models are in another system, snow system, moving through the central U.S. over the next few days. Could add insult to injury. Chicago pileup involves nearly 60 vehicles. Several hurt after snow leaves roads extremely hazardous. Take a look at that nightmare. Not even a lot of snow on the ground. Is a boom snowfall for Denver on the table? We'll look at the data. After all, it is boom time. Cold weather in place across central eastern U.S. with snow on the way. The Midwest could see a few inches of mid-April snow. Ho, ho, ho. Snow likely for far southern Wisconsin Thursday night into Friday morning. That will be their wake-up call. From Monroe to Kenosha, light snow accumulation for the southern Wisconsin late tonight to Friday morning commute. Slippery road conditions may occur for the morning commute from Monroe to Kenosha. Let's try to stay away from those pileups. Snow falling in Boston and across Massachusetts. And the push of Arctic air brought record lows to Gillette. That's in Wyoming, in case you didn't know. I think it is. I think it's in Wyoming. Can someone confirm? There I am. Winter storm warning, heavy snow possible Thursday. And we're talking about Iowa. Winter storm warning, 6 to 10 inches in Iowa. It is Severe Weather Awareness Week. Now, in our region for Thursday, what they're talking about is damaging straight line winds and large hail. And if you live east of the Pikes Peak area, you know about large hail. Now, during this Severe Weather Awareness Week, remember that threats from thunderstorms can include tornadoes, straight line winds, hail, flooding, and lightning. And we saw a perfect example. So just a heads up for those that are unaware. As we head over to the snowfall analysis from the last 24 hours, we can see the West is the big winner, with areas in Wyoming, Montana, and Denver picking up a foot and a half, even 2 feet in portions of Wyoming. Idaho's not left out, and the Northeast as well. Snow falling in southern Vermont and all over northern New York and down through the spine of the Appalachians. So, very bizarre April weather as another system is set up to move through. It's moving now. Here's your Thursday. Snow continues through Colorado and then moves into Nebraska. Little tippy touch in Kansas. Iowa and Indiana here are going to be the biggest hit, as well as Illinois. Big strip moving through here, and then even some spots in western Ohio maybe picking up a touch. The Poconos, the Catskills, all going to pick up snow from this event. We'll be reporting on the totals tomorrow. Now, scientists confirm dramatic melting of Greenland ice. Now, if you read the title and you don't read the article, you're going to think that Greenland is melting, which is not the case. In fact, the article simply talks about misreported information from the summer of 2019. Now, let's just go through all of the data points because we're in a record winter. I'm over here at the Danish Meteorological Institute, the surface conditions of the Greenland ice sheet. And what we're going to find is that yesterday, 6 gigatons of ice was built. Today, 3 gigatons of ice. A record 10 gigatons back at the beginning of April. All this is ice building. And last year, there was a spike down here during the melt, which was record melting. The only problem was record melting for one day doesn't mean anything. In fact, it means nothing. It means that every article you read about Greenland melting has been cherry-picked because Greenland is growing record ice on the surface. And if you grow record ice on the surface, you should see record runoff and record melting in the summer. That's how it works. If you have more ice to melt, more surface area, you're going to get more melting. It has nothing to do with global warming or you. It has everything to do with the media and mainstream science obfuscating the truth. The truth is that the total snow mass for the northern hemisphere is currently 500 gigatons above normal. There's the data point. And if we come and look at Arctic ice is the highest it's been since back here in 2015. So do you see it increasing Arctic ice over the last 5 years? I do. In fact, we're at a peak here. Highest ice since 2014, I'm sorry. That's the fact of Arctic ice. Now let's go down to Antarctica, where we're sitting on this blue line right here, which, by the way, is in the 40-year average dead nuts center. Arctic sea ice extent is the same as it was 40 years ago. But we're all burning up. Seismic update. We have a moderate uptick of moderate quakes worldwide, but nothing significant. Even the 6.3 downgraded to 6.0 in Honduras. Insignificant. Mid-ocean ridges spreading. Multiple quakes at the Tribe Junction here at the South Sandwich Islands. We have East African Rift Zone rumbling at 4.5 in Zambia. And we had some pretty significant activity popping off here in Utah again today. 4.2 in Magna. The Kamchatka is rumbling. 5.0 over there. We could see some volcanic activity. Speaking of which, worldwide volcano news update. Sabancaya 26,000. Sangay 19,000. Popo puffing. Krakatoa, Semeru, Ibu, Ducona, Carinci, Reventador. Nothing significant, or we would have made a whole video on it. Now, the lost Viking highway, revealed by melting ice. Follow the story. In a global warming world, because it's your fault, artifacts are being exposed on a lost Viking highway. 1,000-year-old horseshoes, sleds, and tools are emerging from a shrinking ice patch in Norway, telling the story of the rise and fall of a mountain pass and the people who traveled along it. Well, it tells a lot more than that. It tells of a very warm, temperate climate in this region just 1,800 years ago. Maybe even 1,600 years ago. There was no ice here. It was currently warmer than today, and people were farming in this section of Norway. But the unprecedented heat that you're causing pales in comparison to the heat back here 1,600 years ago. But no one is explaining that. No one is pointing that out. But I just did. So where this glacier, where all these artifacts here in Lenbreen ice patch are now exposed, right here. Here's the before and after. Here's 2006. And now catastrophic global warming is melting it. But on the same site, there was farm animals and a highway, which doesn't exist today because it's mostly frozen. It's not your fault. Natural climate variability has been happening for eons. And the mainstream just ignores it before your very lives. Newly discovered comet having powerful hydrogen outbursts. Have you heard about this? The new comet is C2020 F8 SWAN. And as Comet Y4 Atlas breaks up, and the show's all over, kids, enter Comet F8 SWAN. Now, this comet was either discovered on March 25th or April 11th, based on the source. But what we do know is it's brighter than Comet Atlas, and it will be here in just a few weeks. Comet Atlas is now degraded to 9.3, but C2020 F8 SWAN has a current magnitude of around 8.2, and we're waiting on the current calculations. F8 SWAN's nearest approach will be on the 12th of May, which is just a few weeks away. Perihelion the 27th of May, where it could reach a magnitude of 2.8, which would be very bright, one of the brightest stars or star-like objects in the night sky. And if it electrifies, it could be even brighter. So I'm going to leave you links to the trajectory here. And if we could just get it in a good position here, we can actually move this comet through. So you can see in 1 week its position. It's going to move up here towards the plane of the ecliptic there. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Right at 3 weeks, it's going to be right at the plane of the ecliptic. Earth will be nearby. 4 weeks. There it is. So we might get a spectacular show here from SWAN. And so we have a new cosmic addition to our future. 3 weeks, the new comet, C2020 F8 SWAN, will be visible, hopefully, to the naked eye. I'll leave you links below. Hope you got something out of the video. Y4 Atlas is not Armageddon. Neither is Comet SWAN. Social distancing and government shutdown, that might be Armageddon. Thanks to all our one-time donors, all of our Patreons, and our new patrons. We love each and every one of you. The algorithm is not helping. We need you to share these videos with like-minded people. Be safe and get growing. That's boom.